Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mystic Islands video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And right off the bat, we did it. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I literally couldn't have done it without you. So I do appreciate every single one of you guys for subscribing and checking out the game, of course. As you guys know, Set 3 Bitter Cold has been in production for a while, almost like a year and a half, almost 2 years, I think. And obviously the reason for that is quality over quantity. We have extremely good artists doing our artwork, new card backs, new card templates, new branding for the game. Basically everything is new except for the rules. But I do want to let you guys know Set 3 is literally almost done. I have 14 cards to show you today. That's the most cards I've probably shown off in a video that are brand new cards. And on top of that, I have 12 more in production, and then there will only be 3 cards left in the set until it is totally finished. Booster packs are done, booster boxes are done, the decks are done. We are just waiting on these last cards. And I will be doing a special video soon for 1,000 subs. I'm still figuring out what I want to do. And look at this. 14 cards. Let's go. All right, we're here. Here's my hands. I have at least one card for every faction in here besides neutral. So we're going to start off with the skeleton faction. The first card is Clunky Archer. This is a skeleton faction creature, cost 3, 3 attack, 3 defense. And it says, when casted, choose to deal 1 damage to target creature or draw a card. So it does give you an option there, so pretty useful. So that is the lone skeleton card. And I do want to say a lot of these cards will be drawn by Sam David. He is a new artist for the game. So I do got to give him a shout out and check him out on Instagram. He does great work. Next up, we have 2 cards for the pirate faction. So the first one is Stranded Freebooter. Cost 2, 2 attack, 1 defense. When casted, roll a 6-sided die. If it lands on a 3 or a 4, add 1, and that symbol means Chaos Crystal, to your stash. So essentially when you play him, you get a chance to get a crystal back. Obviously competitive players don't love dice rolls, but we got to have some of these cards in the game, especially with the pirates. It's just in their DNA. And the second one is Luck of the Sea. This is the first rare of the video, actually the only rare of the video, and it is a pirate faction permanent ability card. And it costs 3, of course, and it reads, while active, which means it is on the battlefield, once per turn you may roll a 6-sided die. If you roll a 1, everyone draws a card. If you roll a 2, you lose 1 health. If you roll a 3, everyone adds 1 Chaos Crystal to their stash. A 4, discard a card from your hand. 5, all opponents discard a card from their hand. And 6, the best of all, add 1 Chaos Crystal to your stash. So kind of weird that both cards ended up being luck-based for the pirate faction in this video. But a lot of the effects on there, especially doing it once per turn, is super useful. So let me know what you think down below, and I love the artwork on this as well. We have 2 goblin cards to show off for you as well. So the first one is Slingshot Goblin. Cost 2, 1 attack, 1 defense. And when casted, deal 1 damage to target creature, and you lose 2 health. Seems a little overpriced for his stats, but the ability to deal 1 damage to target creature when casted is pretty awesome. Losing the 2 health won't matter too much. And this card has a very good spot in a lot of goblin decks. The last goblin card we have is Snowhog Scroblin. Fantastic artwork on this card as well. And I do want to say these are not printed out right now. These are just printed from my home printer. So when they are printed out from the Game Crafter, I will be showing them off. And they will look way better than this. But this creature costs 3, 3 attack, 2 defense. When casted, unrest target goblin faction creature you control. And it cannot be this one. So this creature could be extremely useful for fast-paced goblin decks, although his stats are lacking a little. So we also have 2 mage faction cards. Here we go. The first one is Novice Wizard. This one's done by Francisco K. Cost 1, 1 attack, 1 defense, very basic creature. And you're thinking, why is he useful? Well, he has the Idle Skill. The Idle Skill means this card is unaffected by ability cards. So a lot of cards in the game are able to deal damage to creatures or affect creatures in any way. Novice Wizard says, yeah, that's cool, you can do that to everyone else, but you're not doing it to me. Super useful card for decks that don't want their creatures affected by anything. The last mage faction I'm showing you today is Shielding Sorcerer. 4 attack, 4 defense, and he costs 4 as well. A little bit bigger of a mage faction creature than we've seen in a while. He is a Sorcerer Guardian. When casted, choose 1. You may either rest target creature or unrest target creature, but not this one. This is extremely useful for allowing your guys to rest so they do not get attacked. or unresting your creatures so they can attack. Not to mention you can do this to your opponent's creatures as well to get attacks through. Fantastic artwork, and I love this card. These are the last 3 Royalty Faction cards in the set, so Royalty is all set to go after this. The first one is Knight. No need to be complicated here. He costs 2 attack, 3 defense, no effect. He is a vanilla creature with pretty decent stats, so if you pull this card you might be a little sad, but just know he has feelings, guys. The next card I'm showing off is The Chosen One. Cost 2 Royalty Faction ability card. It reads, search your deck for a Royalty Faction creature and put it in your hand. Lose health equal to the worth of that creature, then shuffle your deck. So as you know, the worth is up here. So whatever creature that you put in your hand, you're going to lose health equal to that number in the top right. This is a pretty decent card, especially with Royalty Faction. You want to get your specific Royalty Faction cards out there to buff the rest. So I think this was a necessary card to help Royalty Faction compete against the other 5. Did someone say buffing their creatures? Because Kingdom's Faithful is here to help you out. Cost 2 Royalty Faction ability card. All creatures you control get +1 attack, +1 defense until the end of the turn. Very basic, but yet very useful. And the fact that it says all creatures and not just Royalty Faction makes this extremely useful for pretty much any deck. Now the last 4 cards of this video, I can't believe we already went through 10 cards, guys. So we got 4 cards left. All of them are Dwarf Faction cards. So here we go. The first one is Warrior's Purgatory. Pretty funny artwork right here. You just have a dwarf floating in space. Cost 1, Dwarf Faction ability. Banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's graveyard. And you're looking at me and you're thinking, why would I ever want to do that? And my response would be, play any player that runs Skeleton Faction. So this card decimates them pretty bad, especially when they are trying to take cards from the top of their graveyard and cast them for free and do all this crazy stuff. So this card allows you to banish those top 3 cards, but I think it'd be a great sideboard card for when you're about to run a skeleton deck that you know is going to be a problem. The next card we have is Power of Gamiric. Yes, that refers to Gamirkus, the Dwarven Master. Dwarf Faction ability card, cost 1, and it reads, target non-Dwarf Faction creature worth 2 or less is banished. That creature's caster draws a card. So there is downside to it, but because the card is so cheap and it does such a good effect, you had to give your opponent a little bit something back. But I love the artwork on this guy. The glowing just looks fantastic. All right, almost done. We have Underground Guardian. Cost 3, 4 attack, 3 defense. When casted, draw a card. Sometimes simplicity is king, and Dwarf Faction does not have a lot of card draw. So I figured if they get some card draw, they're going to have to spend a little bit more. They are meant to have big beefy dudes on the field anyway. And his stats are pretty good for the cost as well. So overall, a great card for the Dwarf Faction. Last card of the video is Hooded Thief. Really cool, interesting artwork right here. Cost 2, 2 attack, 2 defense, very basic. But he has Battleborn 1. And if you don't know what Battleborn 1 is, essentially when he is in combat, attacking or blocking, he gets +1 attack, +1 defense until the combat is over. So when attacking, he becomes a 3 attack, 3 defense. When defending, he's a 3 attack, 3 defense. After he attacks or defends, and survives, of course, that buff would go away, and he would be a 2 attack, 2 defense again. He's a sneaky good card for the Dwarf Faction, but the good part is when he's not in combat, there's a lot of cards that can deal 2 damage or less to a creature to kill it, and he would be one of those cards you could probably kill. But again, can definitely catch your opponent off guard as they forget what he does. Alright guys, so that's the biggest card showcase I've done for brand new cards in the game. All brand new artworks, all brand new card concepts, all in set 3, and I really hope that you're excited for set 3 because I am. I'm going to order a booster box and I cannot wait to open that. I've been waiting years to make my own booster box, guys. So if you do want to support the game, we do have a Patreon down below. All money goes to artwork to improve the sets and to pump them out way faster. I can't do the art because I'm not that skilled, so I have fantastic artists do it for me. So on the Patreon, you also get to see my thought process on a lot of the cards, the concepts, early sketches, card ideas, and pretty much anything I want to put on there. Only place you can see most of that stuff is on the Patreon. But of course, if you just want to support the channel, that goes a long, long way. And again, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. I couldn't imagine being in a room with 1,000 people. So again, I love you guys so much for supporting the game. It really means the world. Set 3 is coming, but I'm out of here. So I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.